Krishna continued his teaching of Karma Yoga. He asked Arjuna to perform all actions while dedicating them to the divine. Act with sincerity. Act with responsibility. But do not become attached to personal gain. Do not become consumed by fear. Do not become overwhelmed by anxiety about results. Instead, offer every action to God. When actions are performed in this spirit, the mind becomes lighter. The burden of constant worry begins to fade. Action becomes an act of devotion rather than a source of stress. Krishna was not asking Arjuna to stop acting. He was teaching him to change the spirit in which he acted. The same action can create bondage when performed selfishly, and the same action can become a path to liberation when offered to the divine. This transformation begins not with the action itself, but with the intention behind it. Krishna explained that many people suffer because they become trapped by attachment. They worry endlessly about success. They fear failure. They become anxious about outcomes they cannot fully control. But the Karma Yogi learns a different approach. They focus on effort rather than obsession with results. They give their best while placing trust in a higher wisdom. This attitude brings greater peace and clarity. It allows a person to act courageously even during difficult situations. But trust in God combined with sincere effort creates inner strength. Such a person remains steady even when circumstances become uncertain. Krishna declared that those who follow this teaching with faith gradually free themselves from the bondage of selfish action. Their minds become more peaceful. Their actions become more purposeful. Their lives become guided by dharma rather than selfish desire. Faith does not mean blind belief. It means sincerely applying wisdom and learning through experience. Such individuals progress steadily on the spiritual path. Krishna also acknowledged a difficult reality. Human beings often know what is right, yet they do not always follow it. Old habits, strong desires, emotional impulses, these forces can pull people away from wisdom. Therefore, spiritual growth requires awareness, discipline, and constant effort. Understanding alone is not enough. Wisdom must be practiced in daily life. Krishna explained that knowledge becomes meaningful only when it influences behavior. Spiritual growth occurs through practice, patience, and perseverance. Krishna then revealed one of the most famous teachings of the Bhagavad Gita. Every person has a unique role and responsibility in life. This is known as Dharma. Krishna taught that it is better to perform one's own Dharma imperfectly than to perform another person's Dharma perfectly. Why? Because each person is naturally suited for certain responsibilities. Growth comes from fulfilling our own duties with sincerity, not from imitating the path meant for someone else. Krishna taught that every person has their own path and responsibilities. Comparing ourselves with others often creates confusion. Dharma encourages us to focus on our own duties. Krishna's teaching carries a timeless lesson. Someone else's talents, someone else's path. But comparison creates dissatisfaction. Dharma encourages self-understanding. It encourages us to recognize our own responsibilities and perform them with integrity. A meaningful life is built not by copying others, but by living our own purpose with dedication. Arjuna was beginning to understand a deeper truth. Karma Yoga was not merely about action. It was about surrender. It was about trust. It was about performing one's duties without attachment and without comparison. Offer every action to God. Perform your own dharma. Leave the results to a higher wisdom. Krishna's teachings were steadily transforming Arjuna's understanding of life, duty, and spiritual growth. To be continued. In the next episode, Arjuna asks a profound question. What force drives people to act against their own better judgment?